but they're still very, very close.
Do we know which percentage of the vote in Virginia has come in, for example, like Fairfax, the areas like Arlington versus areas? Because Virginia, there's pretty much that area that borders D.C. and the rest of the state. So that would tell us why it might be more prudent to wait.
Right. So there's about 60.3% of the total vote that's in. And I know we just checked in Loudoun County is the one we've been watching because it's right there by DC. And Loudoun was just, I think there were 54% the last time we saw, maybe reaching towards 60 now. But still, there is a substantial amount of vote to come in all of those locations. Okay. So, and Trump has been trending very positively in a place like Loudoun, where he's 10 points up on where he was in 2020.
That's important, the data for people to know, because it's Kamala Harris right now is 56% of the votes there in Loudoun County to 40% of Donald Trump. But like you're saying, he's performing a significantly better than he did in now. 95% of Loudoun County has been counted.
Okay, we would have just had another dump in the last few seconds.
Can we find
okay, so 95% of Loudoun County has been tallied up, and there's only a 16-point lead for Kamala as opposed to a 25-plus point lead. Where are we waiting for most of the votes then at that point? I would imagine we're waiting from, are they heavily blue counties, or are there some red counties still? And of course, there'll be more rural in Virginia. Virginia has kind of an urban area, again, that borders D.C., and then a lot of it is very rural.
Right. It seems to be a mix of both. It seems like the counties are reporting at a similar rate right now. And with it being so close, that's just why we don't want to make any presumptuous calls, because a few votes break one way or the other. This isn't to say a decision to SKHQ is wrong, but we don't want to pull a 2020 Arizona, if anybody gets my drift there.
Yes, I do understand your drift. Brett Baier really screwed the pooch. And I think what we said was with Virginia, right, the total vote, which we won't have for a while, if it's anywhere even close, meaning if it's anything less than, I think we said between 5 and 7%, if it's anywhere 5 or close to it, that would be a significant trend that would let people know, ooh, okay, this thing is heating up quite a bit.
Correct. Like we were saying at the beginning of the night, if he won Virginia, that would have been an indication of a landslide. But if he's anywhere close to Virginia within a couple points, that's really, really bad news for the Democrats nationwide.
While. So even if they kill a state, we won't know how close it's going to be. But that is one of the states by the end of the night, right?
Yes, it should be, and it looked like North Carolina is trending that direction too. Hopefully, we can give you our calls on both those states in a short while.
Okay, all right, and get me those numbers on the Jews and the Hispanics in Miami-Dade.
So we have a quick update. We don't actually have exit polling. From Jews. We do have some from Latinos that we're working on right now.
Okay, great. Well, I didn't know if there was like a percentage from the census that we could find as far as Miami-Dade and I think it was Broward County as far as how many, you just look for a lot of vowels in the last name.
Yeah, well, I'll go find HR right now and get them on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Lane the Brain. And we appreciate it. We'll check back in with you after. People at work. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
It's a lot of
Okay,
data.
but yeah, these trends are all great and shit. But
All right, Nick.
I'm
This is why I
just-
told you to eat a Snickers.
what is this? A Tony Robbins fucking video? I could be positive.
That would be
No.
pretty cool.
I'm just
actually.
providing a
Is he
little
gonna be guest?
pushback.
Oh.
I'm very
Not
excited about
pushback.
it.
We're telling you that some things are looking good, some
Are
things are looking
you
bad.
are you cautiously optimistic, Nick?
That's that's I guess that's a good way of describing it. Very very cautiously, like
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're kind of. Let me just put it this way: like when the Red Sox go up on something, you're like, oh, they're gonna blow it in the ninth. That's you. And then if you win, you're like, yeah, they barely got it.
Everything tastes weird since I'm sick, but every now and then the virus gets something right, and these sweet potatoes taste like a sugar cookie.
Oh,
The virus
sweet.
gets something right.
I don't know
Very
why.
nice.
Plain sweet potatoes. taste
that'll
like a
look
sugar
good coming out the other end.
cookie. Yeah.
Yeah, well, looks about the same.
You're the
I think.
only
Yeah,
one who's in the
that's-
blast
Pretty
radius,
good
Nick.
point, actually. What?
You're the only one who's within the blast radius. So
Oh,
I wouldn't be so chipper.
somebody get me those goggles.
By the way, in about 9 minutes, we've got Eduardo Bolsonaro.
That's right. A Brazilian friends. And by the way,
Yeah.
they
Eddie
were using,
Bolsonaro. Yeah.
I feel bad because they were relying on the election integrity map, and then we got
Oh.
DDoS.
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. We didn't DDoS ourselves.
No, we didn't DDoS
You
ourselves,
can't do that, right?
but
I
you know.
DDoS myself earlier, but
Well, that's different.
Well, I know it's because you had a while ago. We streamed for quite a while without you.
Yeah.
By the way, clean up restroom number 2.
okay. Well, I'll get right on it.
DDoS
I
myself at the
slipped. I almost
hotel.
hit my head in the back of the tub.
Oh, really? There's a tub in restroom number 2.
There is now.
Anybody know how to get that bottle of hand lotion off the wall at the hotel in the bathroom?
No, you're supposed to.
Well, I do know that you are the reason they have now bolted it to the wall.
This is why they give you 2 plastic cups in the room. Nick, you go in, you fill them up.
I'm at a home with sweets. I take a little ice cream bowl. I fill it.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Tremendous.
That's just all the tricks of the
In the
trade.
world?
It's like I'm
Double fee, they give you a-
soaking in
Remember
palm
back the day before the internet where you used to check under the mattresses for dirty magazines?
yes.
Yeah, now no one cares.
Bobby Slayton.
They don't
I
come up anymore.
was at a comedy condo in Cleveland, and Slayton was there the weekend before. I opened the freezer, and he's got a Hustler open in the freezer. some fat lady like this.
For some reason, when you said it, I thought I was picturing Bobby in the freezer like Beetlejuice, like
That would have been less scary.
yeah.
He propped it up with ice trays.
It is a
What are you,
tough,
11?
it is a tough go
Is
on
Anna
the road.
Navarro looking at you from the freezer?
Yeah.
By the way, what?
I moved.
Oh, okay, you moved. We want to check in with CNN and let's see how confident Jake Tapper is right now. He's saying key race alert, key race alert.
Counted. I am going to now bring you a projection.
It's got to be Keep it
And see,
Kamala.
they can project Louisiana.
Wow, they did it after us.
A long time ago.
So you guys are seeing it in real time. They predict the ones early that they shouldn't necessarily predict. And by the way, we're not saying that they're wrong on Virginia. It's very likely that Kamala wins Virginia.
Right.
But they're making a prediction again because they want to destroy your morale. But Louisiana, for some reason, they're calling later.
Hey, look what's up.
What?
Look over your shoulder.
Oh, look, it's up. Hey, guys. So
Hey.
electionintegritymap.com.
Go to it quick.
Go to it quick while
I
it
gotta
still
tell you,
works.
this is terrific. You guys have done a nice job with this shit.
Thank you
Well,
very
thank
much.
you.
And shit being the key word there. With
I'm
the
sorry, I
DDoS
thought I was on Disney.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the fact that it
Motherless
got DDoS attacked.
I
So there we go.
love Nick.
That's the map, and we have a bunch of we have some exclamations there. I don't know if they want to let us know which ones we should check in with most, because obviously there have been
Yeah,
some.
we'd love to check in on one of those if we can. So
Yeah.
let us know.
Check in on Iowa. I'm going there this weekend. I'd like to see how they doing in Ottumwa.
It looks, yeah.
It's a dead end.
Wait, Iowa looks. I guess that's one there.
Well,
Or
don't
that
you know? They
Wisconsin.
tried to tell you last minute, like, actually, Kamala's up 10 in Iowa because one broad with a newspaper.
It's my register.
Really? But what methodology?
I'm not gonna give you the methodology. It's
Okay.
it's a patented register.
Listen to Gerald.
Yeah.
I don't know why she said.
Gerald
it
likes
like,
to just throw a blanket over all the shit. All right, enough.
I don't know.
no, that wasn't enough.
Oh,
She resembles like an
talking about
old
her
Jewish
bowling.
lady.
Oh,
equivalent to Will Ferrell's Harry Carey.
Yeah, I love
Hey, did you know that Kamala Harris is up in Iowa? You think
It's
the blue cheese?
I knew Carl.
Carl, the super woke genius.
Yes.
I know. What
Have
happened
you
to
seen
him?
all of his
Yes, I
gas
have.
commercials?
Yeah.
He's doing Billy on the Street. He's doing White Guys, and he
I
did a
call it West
trans
Coast
doc.
stupid.
He
West
he was
Coast
a great sketch actor, and then he just got to the point where if it doesn't work, just yell.
Is he from
Yeah.
the West Coast? He is, isn't he?
I think
I
he's
don't think so.
from the Midwest
not.
and then moved to the West Coast.
I
He
have a
definitely-
segment on my show called West Coast Stupid.
Oh,
Is he on it?
Is
Even
a
though
certain-
even though we don't know where he's from.
Yeah, fuck him. Anyway,
All right.
I don't like his new commercials. He's
Actually-
a funny guy though.
I just realized, because of the Polymarket check-in, I forgot we actually do have while we're talking about bets tonight, we do have our in-house betting correspondent who was the best that we could get this evening. So we thank Polymarket, but we also apologize to Polymarket. It's time to check in with Lose the House Larry. All right, what's that?
Not good. Not freaking good, dude.
What's
All my bets are falling through.
what do you mean your
How was I
bets?
supposed to know a deaf horse gets distracted during a race?
What are you talking about? What went wrong with your bets? Did you not use Polymarkets?
I got a guy.
Well, what do you mean you got a guy, Larry?
I mean, I got a guy on the inside. Gets me all the inside information, all the biggest short thing bets. So
Okay. Do you mean like when you were the only person who bet a lot on Mike Tyson against
Tyson was a short thing.
Buster? Didn't you bet on the Falcons against the Patriots too?
Yeah, come on, dude. That was a fair bet. You know that.
Yeah, but you did it at halftime.
Exactly. They were up 25 points,
And
dude.
just on principle, Larry, how could you bet against the Americans in the Miracle on Ice?
Come on. No one thought they had a shot.
So you bet on the Russians?
No, I didn't bet on the Russians.
I don't understand.
The Swedes. I betted on the Swedes. Steve.
Okay, well, does your guy have anything on the election tonight, Larry?
No, but I got a sure thing for you. Look, my guy said we should put it all on Ellen Page winning an Oscar.
All right,
my
Tim, cut it.
I thought he said Alan Page, who was a great football player in the 70s.
well, Ellen Page was a great actress.
Same likelihood.
Alan, not Ellen.
Yeah, well,
We also do have an update right now. Georgia, by the way, 79% of the vote is in, and Donald Trump is holding a 4.8% lead.
Good.
So that is pretty significant.
That's good. And so North Carolina updates 65% of the vote in. Trump's leading by 5.3%. Virginia updates 64% of the vote in, and Trump leading by 1.1 again, depending on where the rest of the votes come from counties.
That's
Wait, he's leading Virginia 1.1?
wow. That's a bit. Now that's good.
leading by 1.1.
That one actually made me excited.
I pulled my
What?
bet, by the way.
Yeah, Pennsylvania right now, 40% of the vote is in. Trump is closing the gap again, as expected. Kamala Harris's lead is less than 1%.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Wow.
trending in the right direction.
so it looks, and again, we're not going to make calls immediately. It seems like they've already called Virginia. I believe Decision
Well,
Desk has called
Decision
Virginia.
Desk may have, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be making that call. And I know it's very likely that Kamala wins Virginia, But if it's even remotely close, and then of course you see North Carolina, which they have also called, we're just trying to be prudent here because we don't want you to have false hope, and we also don't want you to have false despair. So that's why we waited on both of those states. They're very, very close. Does seem, if I were to bet right now, that obviously Donald Trump will win North Carolina. That seems much more like a surefire bet than even Virginia, certainly Virginia being with that much of a winning margin. So if we see Donald Trump win North Carolina, we see him win Georgia, and we see Virginia within 5 points or less, that's the kind of combination that you really haven't seen with a Republican not winning in at least, I believe it was a decade. With that kind of combination. So 79% of the vote in, Donald Trump holding a 4.8% lead in Georgia.
Yeah, I know. We'll go to Poly Market stuff here in a minute again, but it's over 80% now. I believe 81.5% for Donald Trump. So that is moving. Money is moving away from Kamala Harris as fast as her husband.
Oh my God! What kind of shot was that?
She's a
human being, for Christ's sake.
I mean, come on, the guy banged the nanny. We're really going to stick up for this guy?
Yeah, but did you see the nanny? Holy smoke!
Yeah, different wife, buddy. Different wife.
Could be a Jude Law. It could be a Jude Law situation.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You know what?
Chick had an ass on her like
Dickie Greenleaf. Fails nobody.
Before we go to Bolsonaro here in just a minute, we've got another. So we're going to go with another promo code for merch right now. So go to crowdershop.com. We're going to do number 3. I know Tim's got like 75 billion things to kind of choose from, so he needs a little bit of a lead in.
Yes.
So
you said number 3?
Number 3. All right.
Number 3.
So promo code MAGA right now. Any shirt, 24% off for 1 hour or until a major swing state is called. So make sure you go to crowdershop.com, use promo code MAGA, and remember, we've got the 2024 Oscar the Grouch shirt.
By the way, we haven't been doing the drinking game tonight.
We haven't had anything to drink.
Well, yeah. Every time a state is called for Trump, anytime a state is deemed too close to call.
Oh gosh, we're
Or
waiting.
anytime a swing state is called. We've had all of those
I
things.
need alcohol.
I've been playing by my own rules.
I've been,
That's because you're a rebel with a cause, and the cause is drinking.
I've been playing it.
Every time that little Trump guy did a dance, I took a
That's
shot.
why I'm worried, because I got to keep this ship afloat, and I know that everyone else is having a good time and drinking. And if I drink, I'm going to throw up.
No.
Yeah,
Well, but
you can't.
people might pay to see that.
You should have some brandy and sweat it out, as they said in The Godfather.
So is it sweat it out?
Yeah, that's how Sonny said it. Yeah, sweat it out.
Sweat it out. Sweat it out. All right, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't have a Marvel movie reference. Listen.
So
It's more like Transformers.
yeah, for Gerald, Transformers 4.
Well,
He
no.
loves it.
Yeah, he
One.
likes the
fan.
Transformers that have Mark Wahlberg.
He's like,
I've never seen a Transformer movie.
I'm not lying. I'm trying to do your bidding, okay?
No,
But I'm saying those were good movies. People really enjoy those movies. I'm making good movie. I'm making people happy. All right. People say, "Where's Shia?" Shia had a mental breakdown. Okay, so they have me. By the way, if I was on Flight 93, wouldn't have gone down like that. Okay. Flight 93, I would have gone up to the captain and said, "Hey, do we have a problem here?" He'd say, "We do have a problem." I'd say, "What is it?" He'd say, "We have a terrorist." I say, "You can't have a terrorist on the plane. You're not supposed to have them on the plane.
Oh my God.
It's supposed to be a terrorist-free plane."
Hey, we have Bolsonaro.
Oh, do we have? All right.
Hey, Eddie, you there?
And the reason that this is so important is, of course, Brazil, they're paying very close attention to the United States because they know what happens when you have a commie who actually achieves higher office.
Gerald, where you going?
Gerald is,
He's at Mar-a-Lago right now.
Bolsonaro?
Yeah.
Wow, he must have some juice.
So why did Gerald leave?
Because he's
All right,
Gerald.
All right.
I think he got nervous.
All right. Well, then let's make sure that we bring on Mr. And just to be clear, this is Eduardo Bolsonaro.
Eduardo, yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I don't want people to be like, oh, but he's great too. So let's bring on Eduardo Bolsonaro, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bolsonaro, it's looking a little choppy, but I know you're at Mar-a-Lago right now. What's the vibe like there?
Hi, Stephen. Sorry to disturb you, but here people is also very excited. We are following the elections. And actually, I'm doing a lot of interviews, but we are following here the elections, and everybody here at the dinner is really excited. We just had Trump here saying that he expects to go to the convention center, maybe to do the announcement of the victory.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, to be very honest, I have some friends in Brazil that they are a bit scared because they see that a lot of people saying that Kamala is going to do good, maybe they're going to win, and no one knows the truth. It depends what TV channel or what YouTube are you watching, or Rumble channel you are watching.
Right. No, that's exactly right. And that's what we wanted to provide people with some more, granular detail with with the stuff we have here, with not only the Newswire, not only the analysts, but we want people to see a little bit. For example, we have not called people here watching. We have not called Virginia yet because it's very, very close. Kamala will probably win, but it will be within a margin that is significant. And we also haven't called North Carolina, which Donald Trump will very likely win. But we want to be prudent with those. And we did, however, call a multitude of states well before CNN did, because isn't it amazing? They call, these decision desks, they call Virginia, they call states, but they didn't call Louisiana for another 10, 20 minutes. So
we have 2 screens here, one in Fox News, another one in CNN. It's unbelievable how different it is depending the TV channel that you watch. If I was watching CNN, I would say Kamala will win for sure.
Right.
And it's crazy.
No, it's absolutely right. And by the way, they are all using the same service. That's why we wanted to make sure that people can use the election integrity.
In
Carson's off of the wall at the Hyatt.
Yeah, it's Nick of 506.
I got a Mayan hammock and a bottle of Jergens. And nobody's going to tell me any different.
You got a settling torch. I'm in 506.
Oh gosh, I guess you know what, we still do have to check in with hopefully, do we know if
yes, Vermont's in.
Oh wait, hold on one second here. I know that we have our correspondent on the ground. Oh, well, this time I guess he's in Pennsylvania. So let's check in with our on-the-ground correspondent who still has a retainer for the next 4 years. So he'll be here through the next election. Thanks, Rumble Premium, Thomas Finnegan. All right, Finnegan, I expect you made it to Pennsylvania by now.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi. Are you in Pennsylvania?
You said West Virginia.
No. I was very clear. You're supposed to go to the Keystone State.
Yeah, well, agree to disagree.
How did you get that far south so quickly? Honestly, I'm more impressed than angry at this point.
It's all about the time zones and, you know, the slipstream. I think El Nino played a role.
Well, this is obviously a valuable use of time on the biggest stream. Since you're in West Virginia, why don't you hum a few bars of Take Me Home Country Roads for all of our viewers? How about that?
Okay. The Mos Def song?
John Denver, but close enough. Oh, dear God. You know what, Toolman? Let's cut it. Let's cut it.
Look like one of those monkeys, you know, like the cymbal monkey.
Oh, the monkeys. Huge influence on the Beatles.
That's what I heard.
He looked like Joe Cocker.
Look at this. Look at this. John King and Jake Tapper. How many queers can you fit in a room?
Oh, my God.
I couldn't pick them off a rooftop full of.
I know.
We've been good tonight.
I want to see that ass on John King.
We need to
He wears the
soundboard.
jacket to hide it.
He does.
I swear to you, he has it let out. He has it let out in the back like a penguin.
His nickname's Lizzo.
Yes.
He's got junk back there.
He's got a very
Got an
weird
ass
body
like you
shape.
read about in Ass
Weird
Weekly.
body. He's got a-
Well, why else would you subscribe to Ass Weekly?
I don't know.
You only read about oddly shaped asses.
look at
Why
the
are you
pictures.
reading?
Steven's
about
been in
it?
the cover
all about the
4
articles.
months out of 12.
Because you were on the cover twice, Gerald.
It didn't even.
Oh,
It
really?
didn't even hurt. Hey, guys, the fight's out there, damn it.
You've been in comedy for how long, and that's the best you got?
I didn't want to offend you.
I don't know if we were gonna have. We have this set up for live viewers, and
I had an adult
they're all in the
joke.
green room.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's true. We had this whole thing set up.
Yeah, I'm glad I set that up.
Yeah, I think everyone's having a great time in there.
Live viewers in the green
I'll
room.
invite my wife in here. She can come.
What you
sit
guys
here
don't
if she
see
wants.
is I'm literally like I'm hiding that my stomach is doing the seizing thing after having thrown up and all that stuff. It's like going like.
Let us know if you need Bill to come back in.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I mean, look, at this point, it's over 4
Well, no
hours.
takesies backsies, so.
No, I know.
Yeah.
What,
So
Gerald?
got another state call. You say it like I've done something.
Well, you
wrong.
walked out. You didn't even tell me that you were leaving. The rules are supposed
secret
to tell us
business
if you're
going
leaving.
on.
Gerald's fighting with everybody. It's not me.
Yeah. He really is. You know what? You're
Maybe
right.
onto
You're right. He does it in a way.
Well, there's a lot of
Could
pressure
you
on a
imagine
guy.
being in a relationship with him? It's the definition
Well,
of
actually, I
gaslighting.
could. He's got an ass like a peach.
Yes. But be that as it may,
Yeah.
it's not worth the trouble. It's not worth the trouble it
It
comes
is
with.
worth the trouble.
People are
Let
like,
me just
why
tell
are you so mad? You're like, well, because you did the thing and you walked out. I'm like, I had no idea I was supposed to let you know before I walk out on the biggest stream in the world. Like, yeah, a heads up.
Well, he's the dad driving the car. You got to give him a little slack.
Yeah, and he's the one who doesn't lock the sliding door in the minivan so it opens up when you go down the
My
freeway right
father
into the
did
bus
that to
lane.
me.
That's pretty cool if you're doing a robbery.
Yeah, I knew a lady who kicked.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, I got you, Gerald. I'm always looking for the
Appreciate it.
positive side.
I don't know if I can tell the story, but it's a funny story about a lady
With
who,
no legs.
who kicked a relative into the bus lane.
Ah.
I'll ask someone if I can tell the story. I won't identify anyone, but it's a very funny story. But it might be a sore spot.
I was gonna call a state, but I guess not.
Okay, let's go to another state call. Brought to you by Noble Gold. Go to crowdergold.com. Again, I have held.
We gotta go get the coin. What we haven't got?
I know I have to
yet.
go get the coin, but I have this giant.
It
brick.
feels good in your hand.
It does feel good in your
Yeah.
hand. I feel like I could.
I
I
heard
feel like
that on
I
my
could
honeymoon.
really like I could take out a Walgreens with this.
You could, but it's an expensive brick.
Give me a reason, Kenosha. Give me a reason.
They've already had plenty of reasons.
Yeah, they have.
Montana.
Colorado for Kamala.
Colorado for Kamala Harris. Do we have the final? Let's look at the on the electoral map. Let's look at the votes there. Let's just go on Colorado real quick. Just put your cursor over Colorado.
He's gonna. That's the other one. So he needs to go to the Reuters map.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And we're
You
going
can
to
show
update
data.
all of this. It's still available though, right? It's not under DDoS. The electionintegritymap.com looks like it's still working for you guys. And you can send your reports to, let me make sure that I get this right. Because, it was correct. Report.electionintegritymap.com. You can report anything there, and then they can let us know which ones we should follow up on right now. Colorado. Let's look at Colorado. Colorado, 54% of the expected votes counted. That's it, huh?
That's a big.
And it's 55 to 42,
Yeah,
but
56. Yeah. So it's
56%.
Well, that's understandable because it's not like there's gang members from Venezuela taking over apartments and shit. in
Exactly.
Denver.
It's not like
You
anyone would be intimidated.
Fucking idiots.
So we do have, so not on the state side, right? But yeah, you're right. But nobody thought Colorado was going to go any.
Some people
different.
did. Some people did. Yes, there were some people who did. And here's the thing. You never heard me. I said, like, look, if I'm going to take a flyer, maybe New Hampshire, maybe Virginia. But you heard us tell you, hey, look, what we're looking for is the margins there to see. A lot of people said Colorado, New Mexico.
I'm thinking New Mexico. That's what I was saying it earlier. I made a bet on it. I pulled it. But
New Mexico does have some weird politics, but you have people out there like, look, and he's going to be on the show tonight. But remember, Vivek said about New York, he said, I don't go by polls. I go by energy. Vivek is an incredibly data-driven guy. And I get that there was a lot of energy in Madison Square Garden. Absolutely. And I understand also, by the way, the importance to picking up the popular vote. And if I'm wrong, like you guys saw me in 2016 with Gerald. I was completely wrong on Michigan. I remember saying, I just don't see Donald Trump winning Michigan at all. And that's because I saw the enthusiasm for Bernie. At that point in time, I didn't realize how many Bernie voters would switch to Trump. I just thought they
just
wouldn't
hated
vote.
Hillary.
They hated Hillary so much. But I was very happy to be wrong. So if I happen to be wrong on Colorado or New York, I would be thrilled. But I'm not going to lie to you beforehand. And you'll get some people saying, oh, Doomer, you don't think every state's a swing state? No, not every state is a swing state. That's absolutely not true in this election. And you have to understand that some states like New York are too far gone. That being said, looking at those numbers and those margins do matter, and they'll give you a realistic idea as to where the momentum is going. Anyone who told you that you were going to see New York, New Jersey, Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia, all the above, go red, those were people who were looking for clicks. They weren't being honest with you. And I hope that you mark it, and I hope you remember those people. And by the way, nothing would make me happier than for them to be right, just like I was wrong on Michigan and Wisconsin. I said Wisconsin maybe, I remember, because of Scott Walker in 2016, but I said it's unlikely. I said I absolutely do not think Michigan. Nothing would make me happier, but that doesn't give me the right to lie to you. So hopefully, if nothing else, remember one thing tonight, the many hundreds of thousands of you tuning in, that we really will give you our opinion. But we're trying to be honest with this. We're going to try and call balls and strikes because guess what? Just like when the left says, hey, the greatest threat, the single biggest killer of children in this country is gun violence. They're lying to you because if you're looking for gun violence and not taking into account that if you remove 15 and older, it's not even top 10, you're not going to pay attention to the pool, which causes more death. You're not going to pay attention to, honestly, your bathtub, to your outlets, to your toaster oven, to hereditary, all of which take more lives of toddlers and children than guns. We're not going to lie to you because people who lie to you are the enemy of the American people. What I mean by that is the only way you can have a representative republic, the only way you can keep it, to quote the founding fathers, is if you are a moral populace. And by the way, that starts with us. We have to at least attempt to be moral in educating you because if you're tuning in right now, you're opting to not tune in somewhere else. For me to lie to you knowingly because I know it'll maybe get a few more viewers, you don't think we'd get more viewers if I go, hey, no, Colorado's going to go Trump. It's cheating. It's the steal. Of course we could. Doesn't mean it's honest. when we say there's something afoot, we mean it. Doesn't mean we're always right, but we mean it. We have a pretty damn good track record. And if we say, no, that's likely out of reach, we mean it. My opinion, this is the most important election of our lifetime. If Kamala Harris wins, hey, the only silver lining there is that we'll have some clarity. We'll have some clarity. When you see someone wearing a mask alone in their car, that's not your friend. When you say, oh, we can just find common ground. No, you can't find common ground on a lie. You can't find common ground with people who have not roundly condemned assassination attempts. You're not going to see me find common ground on a lie. But I tell you, this is the most consequential election of our lifetime. Okay? There's my opinion. You know who I want to win. I'm not going to lie to you about it. Everyone is willing to do that to some degree. Everyone's willing to lie to themselves to some degree. We're not going to do it with you. And the fail-safe, what we have here, the checks and balances, the guardrails, is a team full of people out there. You know what's great about the people we have here? You know what's great about Lane the Brain and George? That if we were lying to you knowingly, every single one of them would walk. We would walk out there to an empty control room, and they should. They should hold us to it. So anyone out there who's saying this is only foul play, Colorado, they're full of shit, and they're lying to you. For the same reason that we're not calling North Carolina or Virginia, or at least we weren't maybe about 45 minutes ago. Maybe at the point now where
we're getting pretty close.
I think we're getting pretty close.
Yeah. So, but we do have somebody crashing our stream. If you want to, you know, he wanted to come back and talk to you again.
Who's crashing our stream again? Can you just tell me, not being so cryptic?
Dan Bongino.
Oh,
sorry. It's Bongino. They have a guest on, and they're going to go to us after the guest.
Oh, okay.
So,
get another swing and a miss from Gerald tonight.
There's been many.
We got someone who's crashing your stream. Really? It's not ready yet.
I mean,
surprise!
we can look
There's
at the
nothing
picture.
interesting.
There's nothing, yeah.
Hey, the fight's in Vermont, guys.
That's true.
Oh, it's
I'm
over.
getting
What am I saying?
information pieces at a time. I
was in a fight in Vermont once.
That part.
Yeah, I was in a fight in Vermont once. You know what it was? It was in Burlington. It was
Really?
a barista.
Go Factory?
It was
I
a
was in a
barista.
fight,
It was
too.
a guy with a. It was a guy. I swear to you, with a ponytail, a goatee, and a name tag that said he was a girl.
Yeah, that
I
could've
said
been a
no,
girl.
absolutely not.
I was in a fight in Vermont, too.
It seems like we're all in fights in
shit,
Vermont.
that's where I know you're from.
That's right. You were tapping my tree.
You're in a fight everywhere you go. The voting booth, the bar, Vermont. Although Vermont, come on, when you go, you ski, you fight. There's not much else to do.
You can
tell you
push
what,
cows over.
I got to fight the voting booth with my wife. She almost marked the wrong box.
Really?
I said, you've been watching those Kamala ads again, you dumb bitch.
Joshy Poo.
And then she voted for Kamala anyways. And
Well,
I
you
said,
didn't
"All right."
get the hint when she showed up dressed like Handmaid's Tale.
Well, she always wears that. I'm an asshole.
I wish
I
knew what that
forgot.
was.
It's enforced.
Yeah. You know me.
Yeah.
But you'd think, Stephen, you would think, and I understand everything you just said is so true. But Jesus, in New York City, we would go, that's too far gone. New York City has never been in the condition it's been in. It's bad now. You know, do you see what I'm saying? You think if it wouldn't turn now or even be a little close.
You know why?
It almost
I'll tell you
feels
exactly
fake
why.
to me.
I'll tell you why.
What?
Because those demons promise they'll fix it. And when I say that, I mean it in the biblical sense. I mean people who are demonically influenced. I don't mean they're sitting there like all the stupid conspiracy
people are
films
that
you have
stupid.
where they're saying we're having satanic parties and sacrifice. I mean that people who, look, you have a party that outright tells you right now that they are demonically influenced when they say, no, we're not talking about safe, legal, and rare. We're talking about literally holding the country hostage if abortion is not all the way up until an on-demand period. No, hold on a second. We're not talking about a grown man asking you to refer to him by some name he puts on his driver's license. We are talking about children having their tits lopped off, having their penises chopped off, and going on mind-altering hormones at a very young age, and we're willing to die on this hill. No. We're not talking about maybe a little bit of a higher marginal tax rate. We are talking about full-on Marxist redistribution. This is a party that is telling you that they are in line with every single value and virtue, which is only held as a virtue straight from the pit of hell. And that's the party that you are up against. I'm not saying every single person who votes Democrat. I'm not going to call the voters garbage. I'm talking about the DNC. Here's how you know it's evil. There's not one person, not one. And by the way, we have plenty of people here in this office who aren't as pro-life as I am. Some people would call themselves pro-choice. That's fine. There's not one person on the national platform, not one person on the national platform of the DNC who would say, well, hold on a second, maybe some limitations, not one. That's what I mean. Those demons promise the people of New York, hey, I'll make it all better. Hey, no. Look, stick with me. What they do is they get, and by the way, this is what we learn about in the Bible, not to get all all hyper spiritual on you. But you know what Satan does? He gives you just a little bit of a taste and goes, isn't what God is telling you? Really? He's the guy who said, don't eat from this tree. He's the guy who said, don't you like what I gave you? There's plenty more where that came from. Just stick with me. And the Democrat Party goes, hey, don't you like a little bit of the money that we gave you? Right? We gave you a little bit of COVID money. Hey, don't you like the fact that we're, rent freezing? Your rent didn't go up, right? Hey, don't you like a little bit of the expanded welfare state? Don't you like that? There's plenty more where that came from. And they promise you that if you support them, you go with them, you vote for them, they're going to fix it. When they're the ones who created the problem, but you're too far gone because you don't have an angel and a devil on your shoulder. You've only got a little satanic prick. Adams.
I think people are smarter than that. I mean, fucking decade after decade after decade. I don't think those elections happen. Those people are appointed. The Hakeem Jeffries, all the scum that runs.
It has nothing to do with intelligence. It has to do with selfishness. Is what it does. And that's why it has to do with. In other words, you can have very smart people who go, yeah, but they're so far gone. But I'm talking about they're so far gone and selfish that even though their intellect would tell them, yeah, this problem was created by these people, they're so selfish. They go, yeah, but I could probably get mine. It'll be better for me. Maybe they did, but you know what? What they're promising is better for me. That's how if you want to know. Okay, because is there theft? Absolutely. There hasn't been theft in every single election in Detroit since 1960, going back to Jerome Kavanaugh. Yeah. What there is the wealthiest city in the world. It was called the Paris of the Midwest. Can you believe that shit? In the 50s, and then always people going, you know what? Yeah, okay, maybe it's not right. There are enough people who say, maybe it's not right, but it's going to be better for me. Maybe it's not better for America. It's going to be better for me working on the factory line. Maybe it's not better for the mom or dad who needs to drive this car. We want to make sure that we maintain safety standards, or I don't know, some kind of quality control like our competitor. No, we want to protect our business. We want to protect our union. And so it just takes enough of a selfish motivation. That's why you've not heard me say, hey, what have they done for you? You hear this? The two things that bother me most, and you see on the right, sorry, I'm getting in my soapbox here, is you'll hear people on the right say, hey, what have the Democrats done for you? Guess what? It doesn't matter, because the Democrats have done a lot for the 47% of Americans who don't pay any income taxes. That's not a reason to vote for them, because it's wrong. You won't hear me say that. You know what else you won't hear me say? Let's get ready, because Polymarket might have us on a YouTube ban, might go up to over 50%. You'll never hear me say that political violence is never the answer. You will hear me realistically say that, hey, you know what? It's very, very rarely the answer. It certainly shouldn't be the most readily available answer. You'll never hear me say political violence is never the answer. You know why? Because you live in the greatest country on earth ever because of fucking political violence, dummy. If I were to say political violence is never the answer, I'd be a leftist, because I would be saying it was wrong to fight to free the slaves. I'd be saying it was wrong to dump that tea in the harbor. It's stupid. It's a dumb platitude. Any conservative who says, what has the Democrat Party done for you? Guess what? If they're doing something for you now, you'll vote for them. But hey, I don't know. Can you see how that could backfire? Maybe these people feel the Democrats aren't doing something for them now, but they can promise it next election. Oh, wait, next election. You've given the Democrats the playbook. Promise more free shit. How about you take the hard road and educate people as to why it's wrong and why long-term it hurts everybody? Really easy. You say, what have they done for you? Guess what? Next election cycle, if they see everyone's doing better, and this is also why, my God, when you hear people talk about the income, when you hear people talk about the wealth gap, yeah, biggest wealth transfer we've seen in our lives. I don't know if you know it, COVID, trillions of dollars given to just a handful of billionaires. But the wealth gap is not the problem. Poverty is the problem. In other words, you have enough people, whether he won the election or not, you had enough people vote for Biden because even in the era of Donald Trump, where they went 8 years Obama, $1,200 average household income increase, 4 years of Trump, $4,400, they were going, yeah, but some other people are doing better than me. Well, that's none of your business, prick. You're doing better than you ever were before. And if I come out and say, what have they done for you lately? Well, you gave me $4,400, but they're promising me more. Oh, wait, sorry. Open the door. It's Satan. A net negative loss of over $4,000 per household in average annual income. You'll never hear me say, what have they done for you? You'll hear me say, what have they done for the country? How does the country look? And you'll never hear me say political violence is never the answer. It's usually not. And the people who say it's always the answer, they're pussies who aren't going to do anything. They'll turn you over immediately faster than George Soros could for people in Hungary. But it is sometimes the answer. Let's be clear about that. The left certainly believes it is, because that's how they won 2020. You were afraid. You were afraid. People were afraid to get out and vote. So it was mass mail-in voting. You know that political violence is sometimes the answer because you live in America. You know how I know that? because I lived in Canada. We still have the Queen on our money, for God's sake. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that shit is to actually have to pay? Go to a store, like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, that bitch is still on the money because they bent over and kissed the ring. And America didn't because they had guns.
Yeah, death to the monarchy, dude. That's what I say. That's so crazy.
I thought you were talking about Trudeau.
I don't know what I was talking about.
He is the queen. He might be on the money soon. We'll see.
Sorry, there's so much to navigate and to be the maestro. It's like every now and then, it's just you see people. Oh well, you know what? They don't say this is going to backfire. What has Biden done for me? Well, there's probably a subset of people who think he's done something if he gave them free shit.
Yeah.
The Democrats are always going to win the game of promising you free shit. It didn't work though, as far as raising income, as far as record low black poverty, as far as record low black unemployment, record numbers of success and money that we saw given to HBCUs, but also we saw the market do better. We saw people, and when I say the market, I don't mean the NASDAQ. What I mean is the job market where you could actually find a better wage than you could 3 years prior, and your money went further. But that can't be put in a bumper sticker. So we say, what have they done for you? It's a losing strategy. It's a losing strategy. May work for one election cycle, but boy, that doesn't last very long. And then you wonder why swing states are no longer swing states and they switch back and forth. All right. Is Bongino still on the line?
Yes,
Is
he is.
Bill with the weather.
All right.
He's still with the guest, or are we going to him?
It looks like he's still with the guest. Let's pot it up real quick just to check.
So hindered, and he's going to be so handicapped.
Yeah, it looks like
if
he's
the
Oh my
gonna
God,
get
it's a
to take the House. So
as a boy
hoping
band
and
guy.
praying
Yeah.
that we're able to do that and have an effective.
Yeah, they're still having a
government that works for
conversation.
the people.
Oh, it's the
I mean,
Tulsi
Donald Trump
Gabbard
right
TikTok
now,
lookalike.
he has created this
Do we
dream
want to
team,
stay with
right,
them?
of Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon
Well,
Musk,
if he wants to come on, you can just let me know when he
Okay.
wants to come on.
Tulsi Gabbard.
All right.
Like,
And
imagine
I believe that oh, you know what? Oh, do you have an update?
Go ahead.
No, I don't have any. I was just going to do
Land
more horseshit.
Okay.
I love horseshit.
You know,
That
a
was
lot of
good
our audience
horseshit.
loves that as well. And by the way, we have about 30 minutes until Alex Jones, just giving everybody a little heads up there. It's going to be interesting, given some time here. So I just want to go to a couple of things.
Is it hot in here or is it because I was flustered?
I think it was
No,
because
it's
you're
you
flustered
have
a little
a
bit. And your
funky
voice is
voice.
a little raspy.
Yeah, of course it's getting
Take care of it,
raspy.
You know.
Yeah, I think it was
I have
yelling.
Satan in me.
Did you take the serotonin blockers again?
Okay, just to be clear, because you're gonna have people out there saying I'm gonna be a mass shooter. I found out that I was given a shot or an IV. They put in Zolfran. Do you guys know? And I was mad about everything. And I found out later that Zolfran is a serotonin blocker to stop you from throwing up. And I was like, well, couldn't you have told me that? I thought the world was coming to an end and coming unglued. I had no happy chemicals in my brain.
You have to explain this because Gerald felt like mentioning
Because
it.
Gerald felt like saying, like I'm on Zoloft.
Well, he seems a little angry.
Good Lord. And then you're going to act like everyone else is starting fights but you. He's like Mr. Magoo, this guy. He's just going around starting shit. Why is everyone so mad?
You and Nick both. What's going on?
Oh, I'm not mad. I'm feeling, but I just wanted to get that out because I see these Johnny-come-latelys now who hop on the social media train like, yeah, I'm voting for, because I voted for Hillary and I voted for Biden, but. No, but. Shut up and vote in quiet, and then maybe we'll know if you've learned something.
The left has to be destroyed, not beat. This isn't just beat them, this election. They have to be fucking dismantled. Do you understand that?
I understand it.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
understand
not going to happen with not violence. Anyways, back to the show.
No, I'm not talking about. Let's see. There, you
He
took my
wants the
point. Now you
Dexter,
just-
the
you
left.
just-
I love it.
Yeah,
No, I do. I
exactly.
want the fuck.
No, you don't. You don't,
Of
Nick.
the
Come
left.
on, Nick. We don't want to be removed from YouTube immediately right now. But I
Well,
don't.
you throwing the bet.
All right. Do we have any updates? Did we decide to call North
don't
Carolina or
understand
no?
No, we so honestly, there was actually a retraction issued. Let me scroll back up. To
Oh,
it.
please tell me there was a retract. Was it Virginia?
Yes.
Virginia, who issued a retraction? Please tell me we have a clip.
Come on.
Because I feel like we haven't
well,
enough clips tonight.
Youngkin.
No. I don't think it's that. I'm just seeing like where it is. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
you just
guys, I
answered
lost
without
it.
thinking?
No. I
Now
thought
you got me
about
giving
it.
him crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you let me do the thing?
Okay, go ahead.
Gerald, I
No,
apologize. Steven's out of his mind tonight.
Thank you very much.
It's
I
a
think-
Zolfran.
So what was the decision desk? I think they retracted their Virginia call. If that's correct, guys. Not decision desk did not retract. Somebody said it happened, and did you take it out of their fund? Whatever. They said that a minute ago. How about this? Andrew Bailey, they're texting like, "Oh gosh, no, we didn't say that." I'm
Great,
like, well,
this
you
is
did a
going
minute
really
ago.
well.
The Andrew Bailey was reelected as the AG in Missouri.
Nice.
The guy that's been on the show that's done a lot of work trying to fight Section
All right.
230.
Here's the
Oh, do we have him
champagne.
on the show?
No, we don't have him on the show. I'm
But
just-
did we have him on the show?
yes. Yeah, we did have him on the show. Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, a couple times. I
terrific.
think. Yeah, he was helping with that case
Absolutely.
I don't know.
in
It's hot.
Missouri, I think. Right?
Another big victory. My mother won in bingo tonight at the residence.
I feel like one of the old black ladies in Nick's neighborhood with the funny hats.
Go,
Lord.
Ain't no
Oh,
black
Lord,
women
I
in my
tell you.
neighborhood, folks.
It's hot out here.
It is hot out here.
Good golly.
So what
I like that nice Sicilian boy who lives down the block and goes all out on Halloween. What's his name? Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, he's got a bit of a dirty mouth, but his chest look clean.
Oh boy.
He got a Ozempic face but legs like tree trunks.
God bless.
And he's only laughing because he knows that's an accurate description.
Oh my!
He got them Sicilian legs. He got legs so fine, I tell you, if I was looking for the Mediterranean slave trade, I would pick him off the coast.
Girl, you heard his name. It's Nick DePaola.
That's right. 500,000 to 1 million white slaves, but most of them were Sicilian, so I ain't feel that bad.
What the fuck?
What are you complaining about? Giving you most airtime you had since Tucker Colin Quinn.
Oh my aching
Last
stomach.
time I ever tried to do that, get a favor.
Nah.
Jesus, how many more hours of this?
Too much.
It's like we're raising money for retarded kids.
And I'd appreciate the money. Thank you.
Let's
Yeah.
bring up that, by the way, let's bring up that Jerry Lewis clip where he calls
Yeah.
the guy's son an illiterate fag on the Jerry
Oh
Lewis.
my! That's why he became my favorite.
Dump that, guys.
No. Well, you dumped me, but then let's bring up the
Yeah,
clip.
dump-
Mission control.
Ladies,
to us in 30 seconds.
Yeah, make sure.
Yeah. But I'll say it again.
I'll never walk
Where he goes in,
alone.
not your other son, the illiterate fag. No, I'm joking. It's like, this is a telethon for sick kids.
Do it twice.
Nutty.
We had to dump twice.
Hey, lady, how
Yeah,
you
they
feel
got
about homophobia?
I told you it's going to get weird once we get to there'll be a bunch of states called, and now we're waiting on those swing states. So we got to fill some time. Are we going back?
I just can't wait to hear what Nebraska has to say.
It all feels.
I have a lot of
planned
chaos right now on what we're doing. We have options, but I thought Bongino was going to us after his guest, so I don't know exactly where we're
Who's
going.
he talking to? Fucking
That's
Mark?
Well, we lost his audio. We didn't change anything on our end.
All
so,
right. Well,
yeah.
look, there's been enough states called for Donald Trump, so finish your drink. What the hell's the difference?
Heck
And,
yeah, I'd love to hear that. Let's
You know
do
what'd
it.
be
By the way, I'm
funny?
back on the wagon. So
Remember radio shows when you called in and shit and it worked?
Okay, now hold on. Now Dan wants to take us, is what I'm hearing from them. Do we have him?
We have him, but we
Can they
don't have
hear
audio
us?
from him, and he could probably hear us. So they got to change back whatever they undid.
Meanwhile, I'm having stomach pains. Like
I know.
Oh,
I'm having
It's gotten stomach pain.
That's okay. I don't know what's happening, Dan Bongino. He's my non-favorite kid about to move down to spot 11. Doesn't get a microphone working right.
I feel like I'm having a miscarriage over here.
Raging Cajun on Dan Bongino. He said it was a former crop. He ain't no crop of mine.
What?
Oh, the Pizza Hut's hitting me from last week.
That
must have been
one of
a-
the silver linings of having no food in.
not a
it.
sponsor.
Must have been 1,000 jalapenos.
I get that personal pan. Did you complete
Yeah.
the book it challenge?
What was that? Was that
Very nice.
a Wall-E fart?
What? I have no
What the
idea.
hell was that? Holy shit.
Is that Bongino's feet?
Sounds like Jack
No.
Ruby's gun.
That was an open crack shower fart right there. That's what that was.
Do we have?
Is that a third assassination
I don't
attempt?
think we have the speakers on. We have
Ugh,
to
who stepped on a duck?
yeah. Well, no, he put it up, but we got the speakers.
Oh, all right. Okay. I
Yeah.
can hear.
Fine, they're having a
No,
good
somebody
time.
step on
They're
a
having
duck.
laugh.
Yeah. Hey. Is Bongino? Are we getting Bongino or not? Because if not, I'm going to go to the next 7.
Go to the next thing.
I
Go to the next thing.
don't have his audio. so
Oh,
we
right.
gotta
Then we have this
pass.
printed out. Let's go to. We do have a reload of what Donald Trump's going to do on day one, but let's mix it up. We have 7+1 things Kamala will do when she loses. This is the second this week. 7+1.
You forgot Fifth in the chamber.
All right. Things. This is 7. They always forget one in the chamber. 7+1 things Kamala will do when she loses tonight. Number 7, Nick DiPaolo.
Report Tim Walz to the DHS as a Chinese spy.
Oh, that seems vindictive.
Doing her civic duty.
Yes.
That's right.
And number 6.
Big fag.
Number 6, things Kamala will do when she loses tonight. Finally find her dad's pack of cigarettes.
Oh.
That one's out of
Well,
line.
I missed that one.
He'll come back.
7+1 things Kamala will do when she
Count on
loses
that
tonight. Number 5, Gerald Morgan.
Admit to the world that her stepdaughter really creeps her out.
Well, she saw Orphan. She saw Orphan.
Sleeps with the doors locked. Yes.
That
Number
girl's
4
hot.
things Kamala will do when she loses. Put on a sari. That's a traditional Indian garb. Put on a sari and attempt to convince J.D. Vance she's his wife. Job security.
So
Yeah. Come on, I'm your wife.
Number 3.
Nailed it.
Number 3, Josh.
Shut up, Josh.
Go back to being from a middle class family.
Oh, there we go.
This one is right up there. 7 plus 1 thing Kamala will do when she loses tonight. Number 2, Nick DiPaolo.
Finally get that vaginal rejuvenation surgery. She's earned it.
She's put in the hours.
Wow.
She's
I
put in
agree.
the hours.
Man, she took the NBA
Okay.
West.
You know what they
And the
say?
number 1, what?
Dude looks like a lady.
Hey, they do say that. Number 1 thing she'll do is throw a glass vase and utter into the broken mirror that she can't hear the joy anymore.
Oh no.
I could see that one.
And the plus 1, that plus 1 thing that come on here. Well, then when she loses tonight, well, this one seems obvious. Panic fellatio.
Oh,
that is
come
big.
That is the best kind, by the way.
You forgot the fun in the chamber.
I tell my wife there's a category 4 coming. It's the best blowjob you'll ever get.
What's next? An emergency pregnancy?
I have no idea. Do we
Panic fellatio.
want to check in with people?
So we have Devin Nunes at Mar-a-Lago. If we want to check in with Devin,
Okay.
CEO of True Social.
Do we want to check in
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Devin?
yeah. Let's check in with Devin.
Just don't ask me.
After that segment, I wanna-
Listen, the
God,
way
you
that
tell
I'm
me 'cause I
saying,
can't see who's on.
I'm saying this because I've gotten screwed over the last 5 minutes on calling people being ready.
Well, you're about to get screwed again. You got to give me a couple seconds.
It's in the chat.
I just did a fucking 7 plus 1.
Hey guys,
That's true. He's right.
Sure runs like a Swiss
we have people
watch.
coming in from CNN and Fox News. Let's keep it to an NC-17.
We got Jake Tapper's sister on line 3.
Oh look, Chris,
Oh,
you
my
got
gosh.
Wallace. You got Wallace on CNN acting like he doesn't hate his life. This guy couldn't cut it at Fox News, couldn't cut it on CNN, so he went to CNN subscription service.
Yeah, that lasted.
And then they have him on every now and then, like, I don't know, it's late at night. Throw on Wall.
Now he
Wallace
washes
tells the
Geraldo's pool.
Can you get a skinnier tie knot?
Yeah.
And right now they're looking at Michigan. Right now, only 23% of the. Oh, that's heartening to know that about Michigan. Were you saying that we have?
23%.
It's too close. I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's
They have
Trump
the
in
work
lead.
ethic of an auto worker.
I don't like it.
All right. Pretty
I don't
soon
like
we're going to need to go to an actual break,
All right.
not a 2-minute break where I eat some saltines.
I've got Devin.
Salty.
Devin Nunez?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Right now on the line, we have from Mar-a-Lago, you said?
Yeah, he's at Mar-a-Lago.
I hope it's better Wi-Fi than Bolsonaro.
We'll see.
Devin Nunez. There you go. There's Mr. Nunez, who didn't put it in horizontal mode. How are you, sir? Can you see me and hear me?
You want it in horizontal mode? There you go. How's that?
Oh,
Hey!
Hey, why does your,
no.
why does your
There
Wi-Fi
you go,
work?
there you go.
And Bolsonaro was in Mar-a-Lago and it didn't work at all. Yours is clear as a bell.
I have better Wi-Fi, man. I used to chair the intelligence committee.
That's right.
That's the best answer ever.
Dumb question. Devin, let me ask you this. What's the vibe there? What are you feeling, straight shot for people out there and you guys in the know? Because we know that you have access to internal polls that a lot of people don't. What's the feeling?
Yeah, look, I think it's a kind of chicken shit that they haven't called Georgia. Georgia's been done for 2 hours. North Carolina looks like it's in good shape. And, you just have to look across the board. I mean, Trump's well positioned to win this thing.
Yeah.
Yet you have all the fake news channels that just aren't calling it. And look, we still got to get all the votes in, but it seems really weird that they're not calling North Carolina or Georgia at this point.
Well, some places did call North Carolina. We were holding on North Carolina because we're still holding on Virginia because they called Virginia with way too early. And by the way, called it some of these places before they called Louisiana, if you can believe it. We are getting
sign.
Yeah, we are getting close here to looking at Georgia too. Actually, as soon as we're done with this call, I'm going to go take a break and speak with our decision desk, the better decision desk.
Yeah, right.
So it seems like Georgia is pretty much, like you said, you don't want to count chickens before they hatch. But do you guys have some other data on Georgia where, compared to recent elections, it's one that should be called?
Yeah, look, and even people from the outside that I used to know, even Democrats that I know, have said that Georgia's done. It's cooked. So, I think the fake news is trying to push this out. Now, look, it doesn't mean he's still got to break through the blue wall, and we still have Arizona to come in. But I like where President Trump is at right now. Biggest political comeback in modern history, if not the history of the country.
I can say unequivocally that Donald Trump winning tonight would be the biggest political comeback in the history of the country. I think that's pretty safe to say, honestly. Because all the other guys, they only got shot. He got shot, and he did a whole lot more. So you could definitely put him in that conversation. What are you most excited about, Devin? As far as another 4 years, and I know Section 230 has been really close, near and dear to you. But what gets you out of bed in the morning?
The main thing that has to be done, and look, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, right? Arizona's still to come in.
Sure.
But I think the Department of Justice, and you guys have done a good job covering this on your show when you guys aren't kind of screwing around and joking. But when you actually are talking about substance on your show,
never.
Come on.
The Department of Justice, they got to bring a whole team in there and fix that stuff. Because I think if you fix that, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to fix the rest of the government.
Yeah. I think you're right. Is there anyone who we could expect, you think, would be fired day one in Department of Justice?
Well, they all need to go. Obviously, right. I just think Trump would need to bring in, it takes, you can't just put one guy in there and leave him to the wolves. I think that was one of the problems last time. You got to bring in a whole team.
Right.
I think that's the key.
Yeah. Well,
when I say a team, you got to bring in 25 people and clean the place out.
Right. Is that something where you would hope to maybe be playing a role yourself there, Devin?
Well, thank God I'm not a lawyer, so I will not have to do that.
Okay.
You have to actually have a law degree. I play a lawyer and, have dealt with lawyers my whole life, but not something that I would do, but I just think it's the most important issue.
Well, I'm going to go back to and speak with our data analyst here, because I don't know if you know this is the #1 stream in the world right now online. We've been making some calls that other people are afraid to make. And we've been holding back on some calls too, because we have a little bit of granularity there. We're going, we might want to wait for some context.
Yeah.
And I would watch, Carrie Lake is a friend of your show, Steve.
She's going to be on later tonight.
And I think she has a good shot to win. I really do. I'm feeling like she could upset, and nobody has given her a shot to win in the kind of the elite class, and that would be a hell of a victory if she can pull it off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's closer than a lot of people are giving it credit for. It's not one that I would make a call on right now, of course, because Arizona takes, I think, 4 months to give the final results. But I do believe she's going to.
The only thing that you'll have to wait for longer, it's just it doesn't really matter, will be California.
Yes.
We'll know California results by about Thanksgiving. Everybody will be getting ready to cook their turkeys and having a cocktail. And,
jeez.
And they'll call California.
No doubt.
Although this year I'm smoking a turkey, so we'll see how that goes. My first year smoking a turkey. I'm pretty excited about it, but I know you can't do it from frozen or you'll explode your smoker. You have a question there, Joe?
I was going to say, Devin, hey, just feel free if anything's going on down there that you want us to get out, just text us. And also, thanks for the wine. He sent me some wine.
Really?
That's fantastic.
What was it, Cold Duck?
No, it's good wine. Not this box wine crap I hear I have to taste later.
Yeah, you do. That's all we have.
Yes, don't forget about that, please, Stephen.
No, please
it's very
forget
important
about
to me
that. Devin,
that
come
he
on,
does
help me
the
out
box
here.
wine taste test.
Yes, it is. We will do the box wine taste test. All right, Devin, if you want to leave our viewers with what is it that you want to say in closing here? If there's one thing you want people watching to take away.
Look, I just think this is another just big miss by the fake news, the fake polling. They ran that whole scheme over the weekend with Iowa, that Iowa was, Harris was up by 3 points in Iowa. And I just said, sometimes this stuff just takes common sense, right? If Kamala Harris was within 3 or 4 points, if she was behind by 3 or 4 points in a poll, they would have sent in every single surrogate. They would have sent in, the damn Governor Walz from the state right above Iowa. I mean, why wouldn't he have gone to Iowa? So, they just play they run these disinformation campaigns. And I think the big losers are these pollsters that went along with it.
Yep.
And look, I think overall, if you take a look at it, a lot of the polls got it right. These are going to be close races. but most of them had Trump slightly ahead. And it looks like right now, that's what's, Trump's going to win these tight races by anywhere from 2 to 5 points.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be.
And I think you're right about Virginia. They called Virginia just way too early. I don't know that we get there in Virginia, but it's definitely close.
Well, if it's close, like we said, if it's anywhere 5 points or under, then that is a very significant indicator as to where the momentum is going for the rest of the country. You don't have to win them. Just look at those numbers and those margins that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. And that, by the way, that you just mentioned Iowa and you just mentioned some of these states. We actually have to go make some more state calls. So, Devin Nunes, we appreciate it, brother. Please check back in later.
All right.
For some.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Devin Nunes, everybody.
All right. Thanks.
That guy's great.
He is great. And we do have some state calls to make right now. Right. Officially, Gerald, we have 17 electoral votes. This is not a surprise, but it is being called officially right now here. Ohio for Donald Trump.
That's a good one.
Hey, there we go. All right.
And then another one, because we were talking about this, remember, where they were saying, oh, actually, right now, it looks like Kamala might win Iowa. We are actually officially calling Iowa with 6 electoral college votes for Donald Trump.
All right, I can talk about that this week.
Turns out Miss Register was full of crap.
Oh, but she's got the most accurate polling, Steven.
As people said, she's got the most accurate
Seltzer,
polling.
whatever her name is.
I watched CNN yesterday in a fever dream where they're going, and now what we're seeing with Iowa being so close, it's telling you that women are coming out in record numbers and they just don't like what Donald Trump is selling. Really? Really? And again, that's the lie. The left lied to their people as though Kamala Harris had a snowball's chance in hell in Iowa. We're not going to do that with you guys in California or New York.
Or they only polled women because the men were working on the field or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
They were at their jobs or doing something important.
They were tilling the cornfields.
Yeah,
you
that's
till cornfields, or
I
do
don't
you
know.
plow?
They till it. Sure, why not?
You plow women, you
I don't know.
You till
I don't know exactly, but I do know this. We're going to take a brief,
said
the
that?
first actual break of the night. We're going to come back. So don't. And the reason I'm going to take this break is I'm going to go back and speak with our data analysts and go through some interesting numbers that we're seeing here and see if there's some calls that we might feel comfortable making where some other people are holding out. So stay with us. We'll be right back and let everyone know this is the place to be as we start getting into those states that are in contention.
Truth Social, a free speech platform designed to avoid big tech censorship. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social.
Some people say radio is a dead medium. Those people just haven't heard of Sirius XM Howard 100.
Was McDonald's fun at all, or is it just a drag?
Where the one and only Howard Stern raises the bar for entertainment.
I don't want you being made fun of. You can't go to a therapist.
Pay for the opinions you need to hear and tune into Sirius XM channel Howard 100 for only $9.99 a month. Sign up and join the movement today.
Protests continue across the country this evening, and we want you to know, of course, that though there are some individual protesters who are agitated, it is not the norm. These protests are largely peaceful. Many people look back at the demonstrations at Selma and wonder, what would I have done? Would I have marched across that bridge? Or would I be standing on the other side? Well, I have an answer for you. And my answer is a question. What are you doing now? Now, Tanya, how would you describe the attitude on the ground there? We go now live to our woman in the field, Tanya Franks. Tanya?
Chris, first I want to say that was inspiring. Not many today have the courage to say what you just did. Your wife is a lovely woman.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Tanya. And might I say you look positively dishy this evening.
Well, as far as the attitude on the ground, folks are entirely peaceful, but far from happy. Just imagine if every day when you left home, you didn't know whether you'd be coming back. Black power. You might be a little upset too.
Well, Tanya, in my line of work, that's always a possibility, but I know that many in the audience might not understand what that's like. No, Tanya, was that a man on fire?
Hard to tell with the flames, Chris. Might have been a really muscular lady.
So, Tanya, what are the people on the ground saying there?
Yeah, we gonna burn the down. 313. Bitch.
That's right. CVS is open for business, y'all. Take what you need, motherfuckers.
A fitting tribute to the memory of George Floyd, Chris.
Yo, who that?
Yo, that's a motherfucker with a grill.
Charged evening, to be certain. Now, some people are asking, why is this happening now? Haven't things gotten better? But there are still persistent and pervasive inequities in this country, and these protests are a reaction to that. And aside from a string of isolated incidents, very small, things have been pretty peaceful, very tame. Any final thoughts, Tanya? Oh, hello, sir. What's your name? I'm sorry, that was unfair. Allow me to reframe the question, good sir. Where, might I ask, is Tanya?
Oh, she dead? Oh. Yo, I got an Apple Watch, dog. Yeah.
The language of the unheard. We'll be right back.
Tonight on No Cops. Stay tuned for more No Cops. Steven.
And the masters of the internet. I am Crowder, Prince of YouTube, defender of the secrets of Castle Mug Club. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held my hand-etched mug and said, by the power of Mug Club, I have the power! And I became Steven, the most powerful conservative on YouTube. Together we defend Castle Mug Club from the evil forces of censorship.
Steven.
What better way to wake up than to the sound of your favorite local radio personalities? Clock radios can make it happen. Clock radios tell the time and play music all at once. I know what you're thinking. I have a phone for that. Well, for a limited time, if you order using our promo code, we'll throw in a cordless home phone absolutely full price. Just go to imdb.com and type in promo code radio2003 today. That's imdb.com, promo code radio2003. Clock radios. It's time.
Good afternoon. Good to see you all. I'm the president's press secretary. I was going to say secretary, but I've been a girl trying to do this.
Does this administration believe, does this president believe slavery was wrong?
Does he believe slavery was? Of course he believes slavery was wrong. Jim Crow, however, that's a different story. I mean, that was well thought out. You ever see Jim Crow, the guy it's based on? Looks like a point guard for a WNBA team. Of course slavery was wrong. Nobody wants to work for free. And let's can we debunk the myth that they built the country? I'm of Italian descent. My grandfather and grandmother built the country. They had a hand in it. The blacks did too. But I'm just saying, I'm tired of that. We built this place. And they say they're from kings and queens. That's their culture. Yeah, Burger King and Dairy Queen. That was a little joke. Don't get upset. I know that was a little edgy. But am I not going to say that when I just thought of it?
I'm going to give this to Biden. If you see him, part of his hip.
It was just an above-average day at the White House when your favorite president was catching up on the news. When suddenly, oh, Mr. President, there's a deadly virus from China taking American lives. Oh, China, Gross. This sounds like a job for Super Trump.
Oh, Super Trump! Oh no!
Bam. Pow.
No, arigato!
Boobs. But then the worst possible thing happened. Oh no, I've been infected with the deadly China virus from China. Gross. So the very strong, heroic Super Trump went to the hospital. Some even thought the China virus had defeated him. But on the third day, he rose from Walter Reed, and the China virus cried like a little infectious bitch. Oh, and the Cuomo brothers too. So Super Trump knocked them unconscious, Bravo! And threw them all the way to the planet Mars.
I'm slightly confused.
Super Trump!
Rock'em sock'em rabbis. Oh boy.
Rock'em sock'em rabbis.
Boom, right in the kipper.
Press the buttons. Move the joystick thingies. Knock his kipper to the floor. You're the winner.
He's just like me. Best 2 out of 3. Dad, you're my best friend.
Rock'em sock'em rabbis by Milton Bradston.
Remember simpler.
Hey,
sorry, that was quick.
Here we go. So we've got. We'll do some state calls here if you want to really quickly. I've got 2 that we can go to. Do you want to do that? All right. So
wait.
run it.
Which ones?
Well, I've got. Well, I can't say it on air.
Neither.
Okay, neither one of the. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Do the state call thing. All right, California's 54 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris, of course. Come on, what did you think that was going to be? Yeah. The nobody cares electoral votes. Fine. Trump wins Idaho's 4 electoral votes. There you go. That's more positive momentum. These are all kind of, things that we thought were going to happen.
Wait a
so
minute.
that's
You
good.
told me we didn't.
Wait. What?
I'm having a good time, California can go get tonight by a migrant. Oh, I hope it really stings. I'm gonna go. There's no stopping me.
Well, that guy
And
just
there
keeps
it
going.
is.
Yeah, absolutely. So California will be updated there. We got Idaho updated. Fantastic. We got Alex Jones coming on the show in just about 2 minutes. We've changed shirts here. Got the Trump Vance 24. Don't worry, we have another shirt for when Donald Trump is declared the victor. So make sure about that. And we've got some undercover stuff, guys. So thank you very much for helping us out by submitting your stuff in any way possible. The DDS attack continues 5 hours later. It's a record, apparently. But our team is diligently working on it. It's not their fault.
I've called all my cousins.
You
They
called
say-
all
they
of your
swear
cousins?
It's not them.
I don't know. But LWC tips at protonmail.com. Please make sure that you're still sending stuff in. We have a few things we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. All right. So we have to retract the Idaho call. Okay. Fantastic. Retracted. Polls haven't closed yet. That's my apology. It was a missed opportunity. We'll do it again in a minute.
Idaho or was it Iowa?
Idaho.
Wait, did I call Idaho or Iowa?
You called Iowa right. They gave me Idaho to call, but we have to kind of pull it back because I guess the polls haven't closed yet. Maybe it's another minute. So I apologize for that. We'll call that whenever the polls actually close in Idaho. But we do
Okay.
have Alex Jones coming in 1 minute here for you.
Okay, but before that,
Mr.
sorry guys, I do have some saltine crackers here
Yes.
because fever's just creeping up. It's like trying to not let an engine overheat. So I just took some fever reducers. And I was like, okay, let me bring it down. We do have some undercover videos. We do have some videos on the ground right now in relation to Gerald. If you want to go out and talk with them, 1 second. You know what? Hey, there's Bill.
Hello. We have Alex Jones in just 1 minute.
Sorry, I was eating saltines. The fever's
Delicious.
past low grade. It's getting there.
You need
It's trying to
popsicles.
get you. Yeah, popsicles.
Popsicles, applesauce, and there's 3 things. Damn it.
What doesn't help if I don't have the third thing?
I think it's bourbon. Is that
No,
all right?
I'm not doing that yet.
What the
All
hell
right,
was it?
One
I
thing,
gotcha.
we're looking into some numbers here that are pretty damn interesting. I think my suspicions, not going to make any official calls, we're likely correct as it relates to Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and some of the swings that we're seeing. And if we can apply that, we're going to cross-reference it with some other counties that have already been called, not necessarily in swing states, but in states that have already been called. So we can look at some definitive patterns and see that it may be the reason this election plays out the way that it will in swing states like Pennsylvania. So before we get to that, though,
Can I ask you a question, Stephen? Because when you do that, you cross-reference. Is that because the demographics are similar? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm going to look at some demographics here that we're looking at right now and see, okay, if there was some major trends in these counties where we saw some significant swings and we saw them in places not only in Florida, but if that seems to check out consistently with places like New York, places that have already been called. In other words, I'm not talking about counties that Donald Trump wins, but if certain demographics have been swinging consistently with a pattern, that'll give us some interesting projections that we can make that other people are not going to be willing to make because they would consider it racist.
Are there states with a lot of Jews and Cubans other than Florida?
Well, certainly a lot of states with a lot of Jewish votes. And if you're seeing enough of those right now, what may be the theme of this election, and I'm just telling people that there may be something there, is enough Jewish voters peeling off from the Democrat base. And enough Hispanics may be peeling off, and that may determine some counties in these swing states.
I see.
Because a lot of people are afraid based on certain areas that may be heavily Kamala not reporting yet. But we're seeing some numbers play out remarkably consistently right now, but I want to double check it before I...
Can you imagine if the media took as much time and care as you did?
No, I can't imagine it because they've not done it since I've been alive.
A fantasy.
Look, you and me,
Rhetorical
comedians
question.
tonight doing this, and a half-Asian lawyer who's basically also become a comedian, which makes me feel really good about my legal futures.
First of all, sense of humor is a function of intelligence.
How's this person going to get everything? I was making dick jokes, the local chuckle hut.
Hey, you know, juries love dick jokes.
It's true, they do.
Yeah, they do.
You would
They
be
do.
surprised. Yeah, I've been in enough rooms now where I'm like, oh, it just comes down to whether they like the lawyer.
Yes.
So
That's true of sales and anything else.
It's true of anything else. So right now, we do have an update right now. Noodles, Toolman, before we get to Alex Jones, in DeKalb County, I do believe that we have a video here. So let's go to our electoral integrity map if we can. I know we have writers there right now, but the electoral integrity map, you guys can use it. Electionintegritymap.com. I keep saying electoral because it's all of the above. Electionintegritymap.com. Go and you can follow along with us. We are hearing some reports in two places right now, DeKalb County and in Philly. And I believe we have video for both of these. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong or if it's just images. But in DeKalb County, what we are hearing right now is, well, I guess we have a librarian right now with an exclusive reporting on some of those bomb threats that we heard about in DeKalb County. So let's go to Georgia right now on the election integrity map. And I believe that if we go to DeKalb County, after we're going to see right now, and Lane the Brain can let me know if I'm getting anything wrong here because these reports are coming in obviously and they're fluid. Do you have the video there, Noodles?
I have the video. Yeah, the more info button's not working at the moment, but we'll take the video.
God love DDoS attacks. So we can do it for you live, but because of the DDoS attacks, it's taking a little bit of time to update. We do have a video exclusive right now from a librarian on these bomb threats that other people have talked about. Let's watch. No, that's not a librarian.
Mess up the vote, but I've been doing it since 2006, and I've never seen anything like it. This is the first time since 2006 that I've ever had to leave.
Okay.
One moment. Let's fix. Is that the end
Did
of
that audio get censored, or
Did the audio get
omit it,
censored?
or was it continue? Was it still playing?
Let me try one more time here. Sorry.
All right, let's bring this
Bomb
back.
scare, so we all had to leave around 5:30.
It's very, very low.
Like, trying to mess up the vote, but
I can hear.
I've been doing it since 2006, and I've never seen anything like it. This is the first time since 2006 that I've ever had to leave.
It looked like it's
cutting out.
freezing for some reason.
Yeah, guys, send me the clip and I'll play it. We can play the Philly clip.
Crackers. That's 99.8, you sons of bitches.
I put the camera on
I can
us.
understand it. You sound just like my mom. Just go ahead and play the next clip.
All right.
I haven't eaten dinner. I'm eating saltine crackers. It's my one respite. And you guys gotta hey, with the saltine crackers.
All right, here, I could set this Philly, an undercover journalist following ballots.
Oh, we're just going to a different one.
Yeah. Do you want me to do that while your mouth is full of
DeKalb
saltine?
County,
I mean, I can just.
Pennsylvania.
Hold on.
I will wait until you're done chewing.
How about this? Tell us a story about something with your
I'm worried about the bomb threats in Georgia.
Well, hold on, keep talking. You two talk amongst
Just
yourselves.
that I'm worried about the.
It's like sandpaper.
I'm worried.
Saltine crackers for fever, for God's sake.
Bring the guy some milk.
I've never heard
He
such a
needs
thing.
some milk.
Crackers for a fever. What are you, a parrot?
I mean, this is like an old wives' tale. It's like some Czechoslovakian great grandmas are like, we told them, and then they eat the crackers. What fucking morons!
Hey, I got a spoonful of cinnamon for you next.
I love that he can't even respond right now because he's got cement in his
You're
mouth.
the kind of prick who would tell me it's cinnamon, but make it even worse with like cayenne pepper.
Put some potato slices on your forehead like my grandmother did.
Exactly. Pretty soon you'll be putting coins over my eyes.
There's bomb threats in Georgia. I'm worried. My wife's drinking and dialing. I left her a list on the refrigerator what to do.
Okay, so we'll go back to that video, but right now I guess we have this from Philly. We do have an undercover journalist who's been following ballots and has been showing the lack of security that is going on right now in Philadelphia.
That's
so
right.
This we do have, and you do have the video.
I have
with
that video.
the
I'm
audio.
gonna
All right,
play it.
and this is my Club Undercover. So those are the ballots in that wagon? Yeah, it looks like Michael Myers.
Yeah, what is that? What the?
That looks like Michael Myers carrying ballots.
This looks like a friendly evening picnic.
Yeah, visual representation of safe and secure.
The most secure election of our lifetime. Hey, I got some papers over here.
Hey, who ordered the oranges?
Yeah, you know what? I guess I'm going to take them to the literal wrong side of the tracks.
They're not even letting him in. They're closing the gate on him. They're like, no.
I'm going to make a prediction. The left's going to say it was right-wing people doing it.
Yeah.
Anywhere they're losing, they're going to pull the
They
shit.
don't even
blame
know.
it.
They don't even know how to. They're like, wait, we got to let him in. Hey, you expecting some ballots over here? That's some guy who says he's got ballots. No, ballots. I don't know. He says he didn't order a gym. Not ballies, you smug prick. Ballots.
He's jacked up anyway.
Yeah, leave it next to the Trader Vic's. I don't know, I'm just going with 80s references that don't exist anymore.
That's what we knew. Wait. So they're walking the cooler. Where are they going with them?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems
Where's
like
the
they're
rest of them?
going
We need the
to
rest of
walk
them.
them to a quarry or a shallow grave.
Are you sure those are ballots, not somebody's head?
Yeah, well, at this point, it could be one and the same.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I got a head. I got some ballots. Which one do you want to dump first?
Well, last year they said it was film equipment.
That's right. They said it was film equipment.
They're going to blame these bomb threats in Georgia on, they're going to do that, right? Anywhere they're having trouble, they're going to blame it on the right.
Well, they blamed it on the right. They blamed on the right wing. They blamed the assassination attempts. Remember, like, you're doing this to try and plump up your numbers.
Yeah.
What?
Then
What are
they
you
said it
talking
was Iran. It's like, pick a fucking,
Yeah, I know.
pick a straw man. you
Which
jerk off.
enemy would you like it to be?
Let's go. Do we have the video with the audio from DeKalb County, or are we still having issues with the audio? There was a librarian talking about the bomb threats. Yeah.
They're subtitling it and exporting it now.
Okay, good. So we can have that exclusively. Now, here's something that I wanted to highlight to you guys because we talked about those numbers, right? Let me give you the general number swing. Okay, in Florida, we talked about this from 2020 to 2024. Okay, Miami-Dade was an 18-point swing, right? And this, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was an 18 percentage point swing that we saw, not 18,000 votes, 18 points. Okay, Broward, we saw a 13-point swing. Palm Beach, we saw a 12-point swing. Now, we know it's Florida, so a lot of Hispanics. But Miami-Dade has 123,000 Jewish citizens. Broward has 149,000 Jewish citizens. Palm Beach has 134,000 Jewish citizens. So we're looking at, Miami-Dade, 123,000 Jews, an 18-point swing.
I think we get a Jew
Broward,
problem.
we have 149,000, a 13-point swing. Palm Beach, we have 134,000 Jews. We have a 12-point swing. That is something that is significant because Florida it was a swing state. You may not remember. People used to stay up for Florida, right? People used to stay up for Florida because it was such a swing state. We're looking at right now potentially a win from Donald Trump by 1 million votes. I don't know if that's still holding true. Let's have Mission Control get me those numbers, but certainly a much, much larger margin. We were wondering before this election how many Jews were going to be pissed off with the Democrat Party because of what they see with the rhetoric out of, not only Kamala Harris, who ran 2 competing ads, by the way, in Pennsylvania, I believe, or was it Minnesota, where she ran one for the terrorist sympathizers, and then she ran one for the Jewish citizens. 123,000 in Miami-Dade. Can someone give me the total number too of people in Miami-Dade?
6 million.
18-point swing. This is significant. Nothing. We haven't seen huge changes, right, with other numbers. In other words, we're not seeing something else that sticks out like a sore thumb, but we are seeing an 18-point swing, which suggests that if Donald Trump is peeling off the Jewish vote by just a few percentage points, hey, that might be the reason for it. So then you can look at places like New York. We're going to look at some of the swings that we're seeing, by the way. So let's look at New York. I asked them to cross-reference this on a hunch, and they are cross-referencing this. So 2020 to 2024, the county swing that we see in Brooklyn, 11.6. Manhattan, 10.7, a swing to Donald Trump. Queens, 21. Okay, let's do those numbers again. New York, Brooklyn, 542,000 Jewish votes. We saw an 11.6 swing. Manhattan, 356,000 Jewish votes. That sounds low. We saw a 10.7-point swing. Queens, 150,000 votes. We saw a 21-point swing. So at the very least, what we are seeing is that the Jewish vote is quite consequential in these areas. The reason I'm using New York, it doesn't have to be a swing state at this point, is because we can compare the numbers that we're seeing in Florida. And I know this because I've been here. Keep in mind, I've been here since 2016 calling every single election with you guys. And if there's an anomaly that is that significant outside of the margins, you have to say, okay, what has changed? Now, for example, if you saw a demographic change of that municipality where you saw a 40-point change, a 40-point swing of, well, now you actually have 40% more, let's say, Hispanics, or let's say it's gone 40% from white, let's say 60% white to now being 30% white. But that's not what we're seeing. We are seeing relatively stable populations as far as the makeup of the demographics and a huge Jewish vote in these areas.
Yeah.
So if you were to apply that to certain counties, for example, in Pennsylvania, that might give you a good idea as to how those votes could turn out. Not calling it yet, but I want to apply this and look at those counties in Pennsylvania where it's very consequential. We have 800,000 Jewish voters in Pennsylvania. He doesn't need to win. Donald Trump doesn't need to win the Jewish vote. He just needs to peel off enough. Let me rattle these off to you again so you have them all at one time. Miami-Dade, 123,000 Jews. We have an 18-point swing. Broward County in Florida, 149,000 Jews. We have a 13-point swing. Palm Beach, 134,000 Jewish Americans, a 12-point swing. Let's look at Brooklyn, 542,000 Jews. We have an 11.6-point swing. Manhattan, 356,000 Jewish citizens, a 10.7-point swing, 10.7% swing. Queens, 150,000, a 21-point swing to Donald Trump. Not saying he's winning it. I'm talking about that swing. Are you guys seeing a trend? It's one that we're going to watch. It's one that people talked about, but you don't hear CNN and you don't hear mainstream outlets because, hey, let me tell you the truth about this. It would either be an ethnic reason, right? Because Jews can be an ethnicity. They can be ethnic Jews or they can be religious Jews. It would either be an ethnic reason, right, as a demographic that has shifted, or an ideological one, right? A religious motivation for these changing. If we are going to see these patterns, and we're seeing them pretty consistently in heavily Jewish areas, I think it's incredibly interesting. It's something that I have some people out there analyzing right now, because that would be certainly pivotal in Pennsylvania.
Good news here, and that's 100% true. Good news here. We are going to call something. This is going to be our call, right? So this is our call on Georgia.
Oh, wait. Well, then hold on a second. It's time for a state call. And what I just heard you say the word
Georgia.
Georgia, we are officially, this is the first place, I believe.
First place. Again, this is our call. We have enough information right now to project our call that Georgia, not the official from Reuters yet, hasn't been called yet, but we're calling as LWC, Georgia for Donald Trump.
We are calling Georgia right now. Tell everybody, for Donald Trump. I'm having a good time, Georgia voting Trump is on my mind. Chuck and Stacy, even Ray Charles can see. CNN can go straight themselves, but they like it. I'm gonna go. There's no stopping me. And
yeah, baby.
Just so you know, this is the first place to do it. Share this on social. Let people know we feel confident in it. You can hold us to this, Georgia. We're doing the opposite of Bret Baier because we're looking at some trends that we see that I know legacy media sees, but they're too nutless to make the call.
Yeah.
Share it Social. Let everyone know that we are making calls and we are disputing calls here because of the wonderful team that we have out there. And you know what? When I went out, I said, what are you more confident in, North Carolina or Georgia? Before I left, I said, we feel North Carolina. I asked them to look into a couple of numbers in Georgia, and I have full confidence in them. Just called Georgia. For Donald Trump, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it's interesting. And we had that call just a couple of minutes ago, kind of when you started talking about the Jewish vote. So waited to the end of that. That's how far ahead of CNN we are.
Right.
And to Devin's point, why are they not calling it? They've had the information to be able to, kind of make that call the same way that we did, basically saying like, hey, according to our projections, based on the data that we're seeing, they still have that kind of legal maneuverability, so to say, because it hasn't officially been called yet, right?
Right. They're afraid because you give them that one and then Trump gets another and the Dems are going to go to bed early.
Yep.
And they don't want that.
You're absolutely
true.
Well, look, if
Keep them hanging in there.
We have Georgia, and
Keep 'em
then
guessing.
other places have called North Carolina. We still think there's some data there that gives us a little bit of pause. Very, very likely that he wins North Carolina. Virginia, we're still pouring through. Like I said, if I were a betting man, I would bet on Kamala Harris for Virginia. But there's some numbers there that we're going to be bringing to you that are interesting, to say the least. Right now, let's actually look at what they're covering on CNN. And I believe we have Alex Jones on to cross the streams in just a little bit. Let's see what this guy, who I imagine speaks like this.
No, don't ask me.
On Friday to start our return board. That is our recount.
He does.
That's when we'll
He
start
does.
researching
That was
those
accurate.
provisionals,
You
see
got
how
him.
many we have, and start counting those. And again, like I said, the overseas and military ballots, this will count.
Bonnie
Get into
Frank's
the system
younger
next week.
brother.
I just came in and they put this lanyard on me. I guess it makes me
less than
official.
4,000 total.
Truman
Thank you very much.
Capote.
Great update. All right, guys, back
Truman
to you.
Capote.
Allegheny County. Close to
Right
the
now, they're
finish line
saying
here.
Arizona,
All right,
Georgia,
Brian,
Michigan,
thanks so
North
much. Let's get
Carolina,
more
Nevada,
on
Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Too early to call.
Back to Jake
Not
Tapper.
Georgia.
Lopsided head.
Georgia's not too early to call. And it seems like some people don't believe that North Carolina is too early to call, but I'm glad that we said maybe it was. So they want to have all of those right there as too early to call. Pennsylvania,
For as
absolutely.
long as possible.
For as
That's
long
right.
as possible.
Guys, get the ballots over there. We got to call this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason that Pennsylvania wanted to give themselves some breathing room, I believe, of 2.5 years for them to count all the votes.
I think they're still counting 2020.
Yes, I think they're still counting
it's not
2020.
What a
Right.
filthy state.
We may have Mr. Jones. Do we have? I'm going to ask the question. Do we have
It
Mr.
looks like
Jones?
he is in the chair, and I think we can.
He
bring
is
him in.
confirmed, yes.
All right, let's go with the OG, the man who many of you have been waiting to see on this stream, and a good friend of the show, Mr. Alex Jones.
To be alive. Well, do you think Trump's gonna clinch it?
Good Lord, Alex, we had a whole stinger for you, and we were giving you the introduction, and then you were already talking. So I'm sorry, but Alex Jones, of course, people can go and support Alex and watch the stream. What was it you were asking? We were a little showmanship.
I didn't know about the showmanship. I've been sitting here waiting to get on. Hey, start it over. I want to see the
Sorry.
stinger. I want a stinger.
You
start
can't
over.
see the stinger.
Boom,
It's
Steven
been done.
Crowder.
Once
He
the
looks
stinger,
great.
always the stinger. But you do look. I saw you. It was like 48 minutes ago.
I've lost in the last 70 days. I've lost 34 pounds.
Holy shit. Good for you. I lost 8 pounds in 12 hours, but that's because I apparently ingested a portion of Satan. I ingested the 6th ring of hell. So we're just trying to keep the engine from overheating tonight. Just
think
trying to
I'm
keep my
getting it
fever
somewhere.
under 100, 101. Otherwise, I'll be going to the hospital. I don't know if you just saw, we just called Georgia. This is the first, we're the first
Nobody
place
answered.
to call it, the state. Georgia, pretty damn confident in that. What is it that you're seeing, and what is it you're feeling tonight, Alex? Or if there's any insight you can give us.
To be alive, well, do you think Trump's going to kind of clinch it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's been very close a few hours ago. Talk about a nail biter. And I think Pennsylvania is, obviously very close to going for Trump, despite all the fraud and stuff we've seen. If Trump wins, which I think it's looking more and more like he will, if you look at the electoral map, we are going to see a meltdown like we've never seen. The top Democrat strategists have been talking about civil war conditions, not certifying the vote. Carville's been talking about armed uprisings because Trump's Hitler is going to come kill black men with no evidence. Whoopi Goldberg says he's going to ban interracial marriage. There are a lot of crazy people that believe the BS they've been fed. They also believe the Democrats when they say two men can have a baby. So World War III is on the table here. This is a referendum on that. Trump's got a lot better team around him right now to try to drain the swamp. They've promised to hold this up for weeks, but if it's a decisive victory tonight, I don't know. From the numbers we're seeing, like you just said with Georgia and other things that are happening in Pennsylvania, goes for Trump, then I think you look at the electoral map, that Trump could be declaring victory tonight.
Yeah, I think there's a strong chance that it could be declaring victory tonight. We just went through some of these numbers here. I don't know if you were able to hear it, but I had a sneaking suspicion because we're looking at potentially a win. Can they confirm if it likely will be somewhere around 1 million votes in Florida? They're saying that it could be that much, but a huge. And Alex, a lot of people, are newer to this, right? We have a lot of Gen Z viewers. They don't remember when Florida was a nail biter, right? We'd stay up all night just to hear on Ohio and Florida. That's kind of taken for granted. And we looked at the numbers where we saw a huge swing. So, for example, Miami-Dade, an 18-point swing toward Donald Trump. Broward, a 13-point swing. Palm Beach, 12 points. I looked at it and cross-referenced it with New York. Miami-Dade has 123,000 Jewish Americans. Broward, 149,000. 134,000 in Palm Beach. Then we looked in a state where Donald Trump lost. But we looked, for example, Brooklyn. We saw an 11.6% swing toward Donald Trump, 542,000 Jewish Americans. Manhattan, 10.7-point swing, 356,000 Jewish Americans. Queens, a 21-point swing, 150,000 Queens. I bet you also be pretty interested. A lot of Middle Eastern, a lot of Arab American who, by the way, are swinging toward Donald Trump. Not necessarily in a way that he's winning, but in a way where he's carving off some of those numbers. I think that may be the story of tonight, the Jewish American vote and the Hispanic vote. But we're seeing that kind of track, which, if so, we could apply to Pennsylvania. This is something that's obviously near and dear to you. Does that surprise you, or were you expecting that tonight?
A lot of people I really respect were looking at the numbers. Even Roger Stone, who's usually a big pessimist, said Trump could win tonight. And he said that on my show Sunday. And so, look, people have self-preservation in mind, common sense. Yeah. Harris is so detestable, so fake. Yeah. Walz, it's hard to pick somebody that would compliment her disgustingness, but they were actually able to find somebody that made it even more gross. And so the system's been very, very arrogant. So, I'm not surprised that Trump's got a real shot at it to override the fraud. He had to make it over. Then we got to have a big red wave to make it over the blue seawall. And so a lot of people I respect were saying, no, it's going to happen. And then even Roger's like, no, I think Trump's going to win. And he's always been accurate. He told me in 2020, he said Trump's going to barely win, not as big a turnout. And he said because of the fraud, he'll lose, but don't tell anybody that. Right. He said that a month before, weeks before the day of.
Do you think that the suspicion that I have here might be correct, that we are seeing a significant portion of American Jews no longer in clear conscience being able to support the Democrat Party? Do you think this is just, again, right now a suspicion, but we're looking at different counties, that may have played a significant role, for example, in these huge swings, these districts where there are a lot of American Jews?
Yeah, I don't think that's speculation. We've already seen that swing in the polls. And so I think that's a game changer as well. But what I think you're seeing is just a political realignment with all these famous Democrats and liberals that have souls joining Trump. And I just think that the people get it. They can smell that, that there's no future with Harris, and, that Trump's not out to get him, and Trump doesn't want World War III. So absolutely. I think that's a big part of it. And like you said, he's, got all these Muslims endorsing him in Michigan. And people just are sick of the current power structure, but then they're going to try to block this. They're going to try to impeach him again. They've reportedly already drawn up articles of impeachment if he is, getting back into office. It looks like the Republicans are taking the Senate, expanding in the House. That's just as important. So if Trump does get in and has the trifecta, he better drain that swamp and he better deliver. And he's being handed, as you know, an economy that's got fire coming out of the engine and smoke shooting out its ass. So this is a crazy ass situation.
Is that good?
Yeah, can I before I want to see if I can. Hey, Toolman, if we show this clip out of Georgia, will Alex be able to hear it?
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Alex, we have something breaking right now. You wouldn't be able to see it, but would you like to be here to hear? Let me set this up for you. Right now, this is some exclusive testimony video that we have that has gone through our team right now to vet it. So this is from someone named Devin. He went to go early vote in Georgia on the 21st of October. Okay, they told him, "Oh, sorry." You were deceased in July of 2023. So he was allowed to take this photo of the screen, which you can see in the video, and he was given a provisional ballot, told that his vote may not go through, but you'll be registered for next time. And we actually have a clip right now that we can play. You won't be able to see it, but hear it.
Oh, I'll show it to
Okay, you'll be able to
he
see
will
it.
see it too.
Let's show it to Alex.
Hey, my name is Devin Hare, and I'm dead. I went to go early vote 21st of October and found out that I was deceased, and that was why it wouldn't work. I was listening to the podcast. Y'all were talking about, hey, we need to double check that we're registered to vote because there's strange things happening. I said, okay, I'll just go check it out on the website. I should be A-okay. My name does not come up. Show up the 21st, say, hey, here's my driver's license. They say, we can't find you in the system. Let's get you over to this other lady. She's got a computer. She's got all the back-end information. She can tell you what's going on. And she goes, hey, yeah, no, sorry about this, but you're dead. You are not alive anymore. And you have been since July of 2023. I would hope I'm still alive. And she said, yeah, it's just that system is not working. You're still alive everywhere else, but the voter registration side, you're not here. My official status for voter registration is canceled. And the reason is that I'm deceased. She said, your vote might not go through this year. As of today, my name is still not on the registration list, and it's not on the I voted list anywhere. So bravo, Harris County.
So there we go. And again, we can't, like we said, just like I couldn't confirm when we were doing the election, I believe we crossed streams in 2020, where I got a ballot to an old address in Michigan that was in process, along with, by the way, my relatives in Michigan who did vote where it said in process. The only confirmation that we have right now is a complete lack of confirmation. And to me, this is an example of, hey, Donald Trump may win this in spite of some shenanigans that are taking place. Does that surprise you at all with Georgia?
Let me add to that, because, I mean, it's confirmed reports in all the battleground states, and it's almost only happening to Republicans, just like MTG on my show 2 weeks ago said she's getting constituents saying the machines are flipping from straight Republican to straight Democrat. And then later it happened all over the country. They said, oh, it's just a glitch. It is happening. So that's confirmed. So they tried to deny all this 4 years ago. Now it's all out in the open. And then all over the country, it's being reported that Republicans that have been registered already voting are told there's a problem, or they're not on it, or sorry, you're not in the database. Here's a provisional. And so you kind of go to timeout. So there's all sorts of ways that they're doing this. But as you said, the shenanigans are out in the open. I mean, they had all these federal judges rule illegals can vote, stay on the rolls. The Texas Secretary of State said 5 weeks ago, you can vote with a non-citizen ID. Then the Supreme Court comes in and says about last Monday, to Virginia, okay, the illegals do have to come off the rolls. So people have been denying that, even though, James O'Keefe gets the footage of it happening. No, this is really going on. So regardless of what happens with this election, I believe Trump's about to win. That's what it looks like right now. It's been just the mask is off here. And so much the fraud did get caught. And a lot of states took off, just in the aggregate, millions and millions of dead people and illegals and crazy stuff. And as you know, you're Michigan, 500,000 people that weren't on the voter rolls and weren't voters and registered in the database, but they're just there and they get to still vote. Right. I mean, so this is wild. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. And even if, as we've called Georgia for Donald Trump, like you said, Michigan is one of those. I mean, we already know, look, like you just said, there were voter rolls that had some, I don't remember exactly if it was redundant votes or they had non-citizens or voter rolls that should have been purged that they didn't purge. Yeah. But we do know that at least one Chinese national voted, even though they weren't a citizen, got caught, but that vote still counts. To me, that's enough. In other words, if there are any names on those voter rolls that should not be allowed to vote, as far as I'm concerned, every single one of them counts as an illegal vote because we'd have no way to confirm. We only confirm the one who was dumb enough to ask for his ballot back, and that vote will still count. I'm sure you covered that there in Michigan. Combine the two, I'm pissed.
But the good news is, I mean, remember, they just stonewalled 4 years ago, and the judges said, well, we can't look at it. You don't have standing. And the media went, oh, the judges found no fraud. No, no judge would look at it.
Right.
But the Republicans under Trump's leadership went from no coverage and looking at fraud to doing a great job with Laura Trump and people, and so now there's some real spotlights on this, and they've mitigated a lot of it, and so it's spectacular how people are being educated.
Yeah.
And Trump's up there saying, if I do get in, we're getting rid of these machines. How does France have 36 million people vote in one day on paper ballots, but we can't do it here? Remember, we almost always have the election the night or the day after. Right. Now we're told the news was weeks and weeks and weeks. So we're going to see some shenanigans. The deep state's not going to go away quietly. And this is certainly not a boring time to be alive. Or if Trump does get in the 76 days when he's president-elect, the left has said they're going to just go crazy and cause all sorts of uprisings, and that if Trump tries to defend against it, he's Hitler. So this is definitely a very exciting and dangerous time.
Wait, do you mean to tell me that when you had a Romney who was heading up the Republican Party, that it was feckless and useless, and now that Donald Trump has been... That's not what you're telling me, is it, Alex?
It's what's happening, brother. And so this is the Great Awakening.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way we would lose is not engaging them, because even if they steal it, now they're even double caught. Right. I mean, at a sick level, I hope this doesn't happen, but from a Machiavellian position, if they steal this now,
right?
I mean,